Good evening, everybody. This is Todd Collins. I am the leader of the Todd Father team. I work closely with Phil Godleski with the PSI 7K Metals team. We've got a special guest host tonight, my mentor and very good friend, Bob Reid. If I was going to put myself up for adoption, this would be the person that I would select to be my surrogate father. I have great parents, so I'm not looking for another one, but Bob has the heart of a leader. He has, from the very first time I ever talked with him, even though I'm in a part of his downline that has not financially benefited him in any way, nor has any of the PSI family at large. Bob wrapped his arms around us, wanted to make sure that we understood the opportunity that we had, how to maximize our compensation plan, what to do to create duplication and a system that would allow us to continue to grow the opportunity that we had, create an organization that had not only width but depth, stick-to-itiveness, all the good things. So I'm not going to talk a whole lot tonight, but the purpose of our call this evening is to go over all of the enhancements that 7K made and announced at the Las Vegas convention, which was our third annual convention, second time we've been in Las Vegas. We had 3 days of just action-packed, one after another, great speakers, great breakout sessions, a couple of different vendor booths that were there. The opportunity for us to network and connect with like-minded people. There's not a lot of things that happen like that in the United States or anywhere around the world. And I don't even know how many people came in from international travels, but there was at least a couple dozen that I know were there from Austria and over in England and other countries around the world, and some of you are here even tonight. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and let Bob Reid take over the screen, take over the presentation. As I said before, we're going to let him go all the way through this presentation. We're not going to ask or answer any questions during the presentation, but we will stop the recording once Bob is done. We'll start it again, and we'll have a Q&A that will go as long as Bob and I can stand by and answer questions. I do have to drop at about 9:15 or so Eastern Standard Time. I have another obligation that existed tonight, but Bob will continue to handle the live stream or the Zoom call from that point forward. Bob, the floor is yours, sir. Bob, you're on mute.
There we go. I got unmuted. Thank you so much, Todd. And yes, if something happens to your parents, I will adopt you. I promise. You would be a great son, but you're such a partner, such a friend. I really appreciate those kind words. But we're here to really kind of go over those 7KX Las Vegas convention highlights. I want to brief through those. And Todd, if I miss something or you want to add a comment on each one of the things as we go through, because I'm gonna really hit it hard. I know everyone is going to be focused on the compensation plan enhancements. I'm going to give my view of it and what it means and impact. And trust me, we are going to have detailed explanations and trainings on that. But before we even get to that point, I'm going to tell you that this made it easier. This made it so that we as a company, my perspective, with my knowledge of compensation plans in this industry and where we're at, we will be the company that creates more individuals with a six-figure income than any other company in the history. And I think I can show you that in a highlight, and then we'll dig into the details. But without any further ado, let's get to it, because there were some just powerful announcements made at this Las Vegas convention, and I don't think we really saw the magnitude of all of those announcements that were made or understood them as well as we should have. And I know it wasn't an announcement, but this is really key. When we started this company, we had the lowest prices pretty much all the time, except for specials, than anyone else in the entire marketplace. I've been in gold and silver for over 38 years now, or almost 38 years. And let me tell you, this is a significant point. We're basically, an analogy is kind of like we're the Amazon of gold and silver. And what Amazon is to the retail world, that's what 7K Metal. We're the Costco of gold and silver. Okay, membership base. And I'll let our 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 people mute these people that are joining us. But this is very important. You've seen this on your website now for almost a month, maybe pretty close to it. This is significant because the average person can really accumulate wealth on a daily basis, a weekly basis, or a monthly day, but they need to get into a habit. And we're the ones taking the message of teaching about gold and silver, teaching about what they have not been taught about on purpose, and then giving them a methodology that they can succeed with, that they can actually accumulate wealth, they can actually get 1099 tax benefits, they can actually have their taxes help buy their gold and silver and wealth accumulation while they're creating a side income in the process, or an income that will supersede their regular job, job, just over broke situation. And 7K, as I believe that things should be a whole lot easier, and that's what these announcements are about. Now, you've seen your back office. So if you've logged in, one of the things you've seen is a direct link where you can see the balance of your Sound Money wallet now. You don't have to go there. But if you want to transact, you got to click in, you got to log in, you got to go through the security and stuff to get in there. But the key, you get to see this all in one spot. Again, we used to have that a long time ago, but when we had through some regulatory means, we had a separate, well, we've got the view of it back there. We also have the view of our 7K cash. So when you click there, you'll get to see what you have, balances and things like that. And that's going to be important as we move forward. And some of the other great new things that were just done, and this is the one that is so significant, people just cannot overlook. You get free gold with every new membership. Put in their Sound Money. Every new member is going to get gold. Doesn't matter what membership they purchase, the basic membership, the VIP membership, the legacy VIP, they're going to have $5 of gold deposited in their Sound Money wallet. It's going to be set up. They'll have to verify it and everything, but it's going to be there. So we get to earn gold too, because if you enrolled them, you brought them to the table, you're the one that was the causal factor, and they joined on your link, they're hooked to you as a personal sponsor, you're going to get a 7K gold pay, instant pay, not 2 weeks from now, not a week from now, but deposited right into your Sound Money wallet too. It's called Gold Pay, instant gold pay, 7K instant gold pay. This is what I think is one of the most powerful things that we've added. So if they get a basic membership, then you'll get $20 worth of gold deposited in your Sound Money wallet. It's stored there for you. Now, you can sell it, but I wouldn't do that. There's a cost for that. This is the way you can wealth accumulate. There's going to be some teachings on this. And if they enroll with a VIP membership, the 269 with an annual renewal, you get $40 worth of gold deposited into your sum. If they enroll with a $599 legacy VIP lifetime membership, you're going to get $80 worth of gold instant pay right away. Now, Stack and Sell had some powerful announcements, and I want to make sure we don't overlook those, because this is part of what I see in the future for this company. Way back when, I saw where 7K was going, but I did not see what they've achieved and where they're going. They're outpacing the entire state-owned marketplace so far that no one is going to be able to catch up with this company. And these Stack and Sell announcements were made. Some people may not kind of catch it, but I hope you have a good view of what I understand and see about this and for the future, and what an enhancement it'll make to everyone's business. The new safe and secure robotic storage. Robotic storage, it's all robotics. There's very few hands that's going to touch it. And it was all internally developed technology. This is not something they outsourced and brought in so other people know what we're doing. No, this is like trade secrets. This is what other companies wish they knew what 7K was doing. You're going to have you're going to have your collectible metal, if you want, stored and not shipped to you. Yes, in your own private vault for your collectible coins, not just your bullion. So you're going to have that, and you're going to be kind of get to see this, and it's all robotic control. No hand ever touches it. This is pretty cool. They'll scan it. It puts it into your stack and sell. So you don't have to have it shipped to you. You're going to save on that shipping cost, and it's going to be in your stack and sell. And if you want, you can sell it in the future. But this is the thing we say gains value with time. Discipline yourself to understand that you're buying that product on autosaver once a month to do things you've never done before, to create a future legacy for you and your family. You can use bundle shipping and save money. And I gave a breakout on that. I'm going to give my breakout as a separate training on a future date. Okay. But more importantly, the real key here is this opens up our international market, because one of the greatest barriers in expanding international with our product, we had to ship these products into international borders, across international borders, with all kind of different customs and different shipping regulations and different security requirements, or no security requirements, no security at all. And that creates a very big hazard and roadblock in expanding international unless you have local offices there, and that's much more expensive. This opens up the international gate wide open, so you're going to see more international expansion, and that's very important for us all, because we're only 5 people removed from anyone in the world. So don't just say, I don't know anybody in Austria, I don't know anybody in Italy, I don't know anybody in Malaysia. Yes, you do, you just don't know it, and we're going to teach you how to build with that. This is Stack and Sell. Yeah, it's a separate facility. It's right out by Rigby, Idaho, just quite a few miles away from, not too far. It's an easy distance from the 7K Yellowstone headquarters, which, oh, by the way, all of these facilities are fully paid for. They're already done. The infrastructure is placed for this company to become a multi-billion-dollar giant, and that's where they're paced to do. And you and I will help make that happen as we expand from border to border, coast to coast, nationwide, and country to country around the world. This is, by the way, all paid for. A little glimpse on the inside. This is what you call that max vault. But if you notice to the right of there, now this thing, if you look and notice the girders at the top on the ceiling. Well, look, you can have max vault after max vault after max vault right here. They're already set for expansion and growth and being able to store as much gold and silver as the members want to store there. That's another great thing. They didn't mention all that, or people didn't kind of catch all that, but I want to make sure our group does. This is just a little example of a robot that runs around there, and that's a robot arm up there that does your stack and sell. And so that little robot is bringing over the tray of modern collectibles that weren't shipped out to you, but you decided to store in your own vault so this is going to be a lot of security for a lot of people that don't want to keep a lot of these things at home. There's going to be much more flexibility in the future, and all the details are shortly going to be rolled out. All this information is going to be forthcoming. So, but the announcements were made, and the facilities are there. This is no wishful thinking. It's going to be built. I've actually gone through this in fire facility. I've seen it with my own eyes, and I've seen the robotics work with my own eyes. I've seen it stored. And so just kind of, this is huge. Remember, we wanted to transfer gold and silver from member to member, and the regulatory kind of stopped us when it was moving great and this was working. Well, it's back again, but it's gifting. Okay, so you can gift gold and silver from your Sound Money wallet to their Sound Money wallet, or to your friends or associates or things like that, and they and it's back. And details on that will be forthcoming. But this is also very powerful and very huge. This is that Sound Money podcast. It's already going on. I've already had 2 episodes between Josh and Zach. It's a weekly, pretty much a weekly podcast. And I've already posted the first one on the band app. I have the second one. I've listened to them both. I'm going to post it there on our band app. All you have to do is look at it, lick it, watch it, and then go to watch it on the YouTube link. Then you can subscribe, and you'll get your notifications, and you'll know where it's at all the time. And you can use these to pass around. Great enhancements. We'll talk about how to use it in the future. Now, we all believe things should be a whole lot easier, and so does 7K. And that's what they have done with the comp plan. It's pretty difficult. Now, I've worked this comp plan for 7.5 years. Well, I have a copper on the left, have a copper on the right. You're personally sponsored. Have a bronze on your left and a bronze on your right. You're personally sponsored to be a silver and meet all the other requirements, but meet that every week. And we've all experienced what that means. Now, many people have achieved this. Well, I'm going to tell you, it became a whole lot easier. It became a whole lot easier to make your rank requirement. It became a whole lot easier to make more money faster in a shorter period of time. And we're going to see that. And we're going to go through some of that here. I'm going to just put up this little spreadsheet that Mike Mandato gave me. And I think it's powerful. And I really appreciate that because it'd take me a while to put this thing together. I could have shown you the one the company has, but it wouldn't have been as, I think, as explanatory. But it's the same information there. Okay, your ranks for pay are all the same. Now, the real big difference comes right here in the second part. Our personal number of people that we have to have is exactly the same. You have to have one new personally sponsored on the left, one new personally sponsored on the right. You personally enroll. They are active to be an associate to enable you to get a $500 check if you have the volume. So that's your maximum pay. Okay. So to become a copper, you had to enroll another person too. And one of those 2 people had to be an associate on each. That no longer is required. All you have to have is 2 actors on your left, 2 actors on your right. You have a different requirement level now. And if you're growing, you're building, or if you're not, you have a 30-day, a monthly qualifier. It's called a rolling 30-day qualifier. So as we get this going, effective June 2nd will be the first pay week that we're doing that. So more details are going to be rolled out, but I think I can give you the sufficient details of it to summarize it right here tonight. Okay. And so if you got the volume, you meet both of these requirements, and this requirement is a monthly. Okay. So it's going to look back and then it's going to roll. So you're what you have to go through and jumping through the hoops every week before that Saturday night will be a lot less than what it was in the past. Some of those, what I call hints that I've always taught, I will be teaching in my weekly trainings and when I teach the compensation plan trainings. They're not here for tonight. But you have to have the same volume to get the max pay. And if you start getting more volume than you have, then you have to rank up. But now here's where it's got a lot easier. Your rank up requirements are tons easier. So if you start getting volume over that 1,000, you're not getting that $1,000 paycheck. You're not getting more than that $1,000 paycheck because you're a copper. Well, you just need to personally enroll one on your left and one on your right. That's 3 of them. You don't have to have a copper on your left and a copper on your right every week. Again, that is active. You just have to have those 3, but you have to have 2 new sales that come up in your organization 5 generational sponsorship levels deep. Okay. And if you're building, you do the business the way I teach, that is going to be no problem. If you're active, man, if you're sitting at home watching TV, reading books, and fishing all the time, well, yeah, it will be. But you'll probably only get this one, which look at the qualification for an associate. You don't have to have a sale. You just have to have the volume in your personal left and personal right. Who couldn't use an extra $500 a week? That means stay engaged, do this, whatever it is, because who couldn't use an extra $500 a week? That's what we teach all the time anyway. And it'd take time to build up that kind of volume to get that kind of pay. But so you got to stay plugged in. You can't say, well, I'm not getting it after a year if you're not doing anything. Well, I'm going to focus on this bronze level because this is a 6-figure income. And knowing the compensation plans throughout the industry that I do and what people make in all of direct sales, these statistics are available to anyone. They're public. I'm telling you right now, we will have more than 10% of our entire membership in years making a 6-figure income. And there's not another network marketing company ever in the history of this industry that's ever had that. Ever. Never. But we will. And you're going to be part of it. It's just a matter, do you want it or do you not? Are you willing to work for it? Are you willing to learn? That's what I'm going to focus on. That's what I'm going to teach because that is powerful, especially while you're accumulating wealth. Look, our product that we earn money off of, we build a legacy income, we build a recurring income off of, and that's what we're talking about, is a autosaver. It's a product of value. Every other company in this industry is an expense item. They're buying an expense. They're buying a lotion, potion, pill, nasty tasting juice, hair growing stuff, or they're buying a service, it is an expense. It's money out of their pocket. You're getting a product of value, an asset. We're an asset building company. That's when people catch that. That's when you're going to advance. That's when you're really going to understand. And that's when you understand that attitude is so important. Your mindset is so important to building a successful business. I want you to notice something else. They've made it so we can attract some of the big hitters in this industry, and they can be in your left team or your right team. And wouldn't that be powerful? You now have that capability. They've added 3 more levels to make some powerful, powerful income. Wow. People can make up to $75,000 a week in this business. Well, they got some requirements to do, just like we all do. Now, these are wrong. Okay, I'm gonna just say I'm gonna tell you that has to be 40 and 40 sales, new sales. That has to be 40 and 40. I'm sorry, Mike, I didn't notice that when I just put it up there, but I do know that that is wrong. Okay, and I want to point that out right now to everybody. Okay, and so, but from the presidential down, notice all those requirements are the same. So these people can help a lot of people because that's the minimum they need. They need volume. Volume is when people help people. And just like I've always taught from day one in this business, this is a one another business. This is a people helping people, and you help people who are willing to work. You don't help people not willing to work. You don't create cripples, because if you create cripples, you're going to be complaining. It's not working. Well, you did it wrong. Okay. Let's just go. I wrote down some notes for you so you kind of understand what I was just going through, and we can kind of go back to it. Okay. The number of actives personally enrolled by you, the members on your left and right team, you personally enroll each week, always stays the same, just like it's always been. So for an associate, 1 and 1, for a copper, 2 and 2, for a bronze, 3 and 3, for silver, 5 and 5, for gold, 8 and 8. Okay, you're right here, that right there. just as your compensation plan says right there. Same as a presidential goal. And even for the new levels, it's still 14 and 14. That's all. Just maintain it. That's it. So the new customer genealogy qualification in a 30-day rolling period, what does that mean? Well, when you sponsor, everyone you sponsor are your A's. Just say A. It doesn't matter where they're at in the tree. Then everyone they sponsor is B's. Okay. And that's your second level. And because you sponsored A sponsored B. That sponsors you. Now, somebody above you place somebody down called spillover. They don't belong to you. Okay. But you're going to get some volume. You're going to get what we call that recurring volume, those autosavers product volume. You're going to get in your counter just like you always have. Now, in your sponsorship, that's what you bring to the table. So B's sponsor C's. Well, that's on your third level. C's sponsor D's, all the D's. And then D's sponsor E's. Okay. If a C or a D become inactive, they're not active. Well, they're going to count your F's and your G's. Okay. For this sales requirement. So it's active generational sponsorship levels. Just understand that's the key. And that determines those 5 levels deep that new sales have to occur. Now let's look at this copper. In 30 days, a month, one new sale has to occur. Well, if sales not occurring, you're not going to be making any money anyway. You're not going to have this kind of volume anyway. Well, you're going to still get your associate type check because that's all it takes. But let me tell you, that is not a hard requirement. Let's look at a bronze, though. That's that 6-figure income. All it takes in a month is 2 new sales and 5 sponsorship levels occurring. Well, if you're engaged and you're helping, that's going to occur. Wow, how powerful. If you're not going to get these kind of volumes anyway. So you're going to get your associate pay, your $250 or your $500. That works the same as it always has. Powerful. So understand that's the second qualification. Instead of having a rank requirement on each side, which caused a lot of havoc, a lot of work, and a lot of people missing things and lost a rank because one inactive and had the volume but didn't get the pay. Okay. Here, that would seldom ever happen unless somebody's just totally ignoring their business. Okay. So that's what that is. So there's your 2 major qualification points. One is a weekly requirement. That's your personal requirement. This one is a monthly requirement, and it looks back, and your pay week tells you exactly what you got to get if you don't already have it for the month. So that we have targets to meet, we have goals to meet. That's what getting things done mean. Okay. So when qualifications 1 and 2 are met, which determines your weekly pay rank, then all you need is your volume. Okay. How do you get your volume? Well, in your sponsorship levels, when there's 150 points for that 590, that counts 150 points. It comes up to your counter. It goes 5 levels sponsorship deep. Those points come up to you just like they always have. Okay. It doesn't matter where they're at in your tree. It's 5 of those sponsorship levels because that's who you're dealing with. You hardly even know many of the people in spillover. Okay. So you're going to be concentrating your group. And on one side of your team, it's all sponsorship levels for you because you got no spillover there anyway. So this became really simple. And I want everybody to understand that. Get the angst out of you and start moving and have fun and make a ton of money with this sucker. That's what I say. Okay. Yo, anyone that buys an autosaver or buys a point coin or any type of consumption product that has points, doesn't matter if they're in your sponsorship level or if they're spillover or however they got there, they their points roll up to your counter just like they always did. Okay. So that really is the key. So let's look at this instant 7K Gold Pay bonus again. This is additional pay. This means it's going to be a lot easier to talk to people, to meet people, and tell them my company pays gold for referrals. Would you like gold for referral deposited right into your account? You want to know how? Anyway, again, just kind of summarize that. The basics, you get $20 worth of gold if you enroll them. If you're the enroller, you're the sponsor. If they get a VIP membership, you get 40. If you get a legacy VIP membership, that $5.99 lifetime membership, you get $80 of gold deposited. And each new member gets $5 of gold deposited in their sound money model when they join. So this is going to keep us all on the true mission of 7K, which I've always read the mission statement of 7K for years and years. And this team, as long as every other team of mine, know this is what got me so motivated about 7K. Helping people get gold and silver and helping people prepare for the hard times we know that are coming and the transitional periods that's going to happen. Everyone needs God's money in their hands. Everyone needs to have gold and silver. And that's what we're doing. And we're also making it for the non-professional, because I built my network on non-professionals, on people who needed income. People worked all their hard lives, but they followed the system. They did the thing. They were willing to make 2-year commitments to learn, earn while they learn, and accumulate wealth in the process, because they'd be spending the money anyway. And nearly every one of them, except one, out of all my personal sponsors, every one of them had no savings at all. My only person had a savings or had any wealth was George Donaldson. Everyone else had none. No, I take that back. Woodrow Venable, the two I personally sponsored on the left side. Everyone else had no savings. They needed income. So the company and I joined together, and with Todd, we want you to focus on what matters. What matters is bringing new people this information, reaching out to them, and working with anyone in your team. Like hopefully I've set the example. Todd said it. I never made a penny off of any of that great volume that came out of the PSI team. Never, not 1 cent. Oh, I have a chance in the future now if I rank up to those higher levels. And me ranking up those higher levels makes it a lot easier for me to do that. I just need personals on my left and right. And the same will happen with you. But you want to work with anyone in your team that wants to share this fabulous message that we have about owning gold and silver and where to get it and how to learn what it means to have it. Again, mark your calendars for the getaway. Don't forget the getaway. We do that once a year. It's normally in the winter months and somewhere, and it's going to be at the Riviera Maya. The place has already been announced, the destination. So that'll be more will come, but mark your calendars. That's the key. Mark your calendars for May 14th through the 17th for what Todd mentioned earlier before we started recording, Orlando, Florida. Now, to me, that's a lot better than than Las Vegas. It's expensive when you pay $8 for a bottle of water and $15 for a Coke. Yeah, Las Vegas is expensive, but it was well worth it. Okay,
Bob.
Orlando's going to be a lot better for us all.
Hey, Bob, real quick while you're on that topic, something I want everybody to understand from the very first event that I went to at 7K to today, I've never missed one. And I go for two big reasons. One is the camaraderie of my team. The other one is to be able to rub elbows with the leaders that are there, to be able to sit next to the Bob Reids and the Josh Andersons and the Jason Arfmans at different things that are going on, even if it's breakfast in the morning or whatever you can manage to do with regard to your networking. You have the ability to create some amazing relationships at these events that you will never create sitting behind your computer at home. It is important that you attend events and that you get your people who are wanting to build their businesses to come with you to the events, because that's where the real glue, the meat and potatoes of this opportunity comes into fruition, is when you get together with other leaders, like-minded people. I watched a podcast today, Bob, and it talked about the old John Maxwell principle. You become the average of the top 5 people you hang around on a daily basis. I like to be the lowest person out of the 5 because that means I can only move up. Bob Reid probably doesn't want to hang around with a bunch of 1, 2, 3s, and 4s below him because he can only come down. But if you're getting into this business, you have to hang around successful people that are doing the things every day that you're not, so that you learn the good habits from them that got them where they are, so that next year you can be where they're sitting.
Great words of wisdom, Todd. It couldn't have ended this any better. And, you know, I haven't ever missed an event with 7K. In fact, that first one was very costly for George and I and 15 other people from Baton Rouge, which we joined. We all traipsed up to Idaho Falls, Idaho. And that was over 7.5 years ago. We kicked the tires. We looked at it. We shook the hands of the 4 co-founders. We met and saw a real facility, not some little not some little business that was just started on the sly in somebody's garage or backdoor apartment. I mean, they had their offices and they hadn't even had but 2 weeks of sales. That's it. So again, greatest opportunity in a lifetime. You get to accumulate wealth. You get to provide a legacy for everyone. I encourage everyone to read the income disclosure. Start understanding it. That's a significant piece of paper. When you compare it with other companies in this space, and we got an asset that you're accumulating buying versus an expense item, it's a no-brainer as far as I'm concerned. Todd, I can't think of anything to say anymore to wrap up this the conclusion of the announcements, the exciting announcement, and then we'd like to open it up for Q&A.
Yep. Let me wrap up real quick by saying just one thing here, and that is at the end of the event during the awards banquet, Roger Ball got up on stage and he said his number one concern, Bob, help me on this one if I missed this at all, was that the people that were looking at change might have some fear, because a lot of people don't like change. But I can assure you, after looking at this compensation plan, if you're a cop or an associate, your life just got infinitely easier than it ever has been before. If you were a higher ranked person like Bob or myself, most of the time I'm East Coast, and compensation shuts off at midnight Mountain Time. That means at 2 a.m., a lot of times on Saturday night, I'm sitting right here at this computer working with my leaders. Bob's working with his leaders, trying to make sure you got a silver left and a silver right, or an executive left and an executive right, depending on what pay you wanted to be at. The removal of this rank structure is the most innovative thing I believe 7K has ever done. The ability to go 5 levels deep with regard to your new enrollments left and right each week, it almost happens naturally in my organization. I know it does in Bob's, because the people that are down there underneath him in those first 5 levels are actively managing and working their businesses. They understand how to keep growing. And if a couple people underneath you had 1 or 2 every week, in Bob's case, he can get to 10 and 10 and be executive next week. He probably will be, for that matter, if not presidential, after June 2, that is. If you're confused at all about this compensation plan, number 1, rewatch this video. Number 2, rewatch the Monday night training that they just did. And number 3, don't miss another Saturday with Bob or a Thursday with me. We're going to continue to unpack this. Bob and I both pretty intuitive when it comes to how the best ways to maximize the opportunity in the income area, how to maximize the compensation plan and grow our teams. and we will continue to unpack the little trade secrets. So when you guys hear these things, if you're in Bob's grader downline, the PSI grader downline, Todd Father grader downline, these are things we want to hold near and dear to our hearts. The tricks and the trade, the little nuances that we're teaching, that Bob's teaching, don't go out and share those to people in other organizations outside of yours. It's only going to help them compete against you, not with you.
Love it, Todd. Let's get to the Q&A. I can't wait to get a
All right.
Q&A.
Let me go ahead and shut this off real quick. I'll come back in just a sec.